Welcome to my property tax protest webinar. And I just want to thank you for joining me today. Today is May 1st, 2020. I'm going to go off of a slide that I created 2 years ago. I won't be showing the slide on this Facebook Live, but if you want a copy of it, I will be glad to send it to you. With some updates, of course. There's some changes in the last 2 years that I need to update the slide on. All right, so let's get into the meat of it. So as I've mentioned, the taxes are based on the value of the property on January 1st. You should have by now received a letter in the mail that looks like something like, if I may share the screen, don't mind me looking sideways as I go through this. So this is an example of a notice of appraisal value. You should have received this in the mail. If not, I'll show you how you can access it online at your respective county appraisal district. So in this appraised value, it will show you the mailing address and the property address. In this case, this is our Austin 101 Realty office in Round Rock, and it shows you the last year's value, and this is the proposed value this year. Looks like it increased by $6,000 according to them. You can either file it online, in person, or by mail. Online is perhaps the easiest. And a lot of people have had some measure of success from it, but usually that's the first step you take. If that doesn't work out, you can also go in person, but if you want to skip the online part and go in person, you may do so. However, you cannot just show up without an appointment because of the recent COVID-19, as you all know. So they are requesting everybody to mail it in or sign in online first before they can go in person. And by mail, of course, you can always do it by mail. There's a form here. There's a second sheet of paper in your notice of appraisal value, and that second sheet looks like this. So you can fill in your information here. A lot of that information is also covered in the online form. So afterwards, we're going to talk more about it. I'm just going to skip through the quickly glance through the questionnaire that it asks you to fill in. These notices should have gone out to you sometime around April. That's when they start to send it out. And when you receive it, it will also come with an envelope inside there. Not sure where I put mine. A mail-in envelope that you can mail in your protest form if you choose to do so. The deadline is May 15th. So whether it's online, whether it's in-person appointment in this case, or by mail, the deadline is May 15th. And they begin to have the hearings. They will hold the hearings if you choose to go beyond the first step, if you do not accept their proposed value. If they come back with a proposed value, then you can go the next step and schedule a hearing, and that would be happening anytime from May till July. And sometime around the later part of the year, between October and November, you will then receive a confirmation in the mail, basically saying that, okay, this is your tax bill that is due based on the agreed upon value. This is the website of Williamson County Central Appraisal District, and this is our property that I was able to pull out based on the property search. And on this page here, you would see a protest online. button. You click on that, it will take you to this page right here. Okay, so one of the things that you can read on your own here, but basically they explain to you how some of the methods of how they arrive at the certain appraisal value that you see on the notice. Okay, and one of the things that I want you to note, I know everybody is right now is going through this crazy time, and you're wondering, hey, is my county going to reduce my taxes because of COVID-19? And here's your answer. Protests or evidence regarding the pandemic's potential impact on values will not be considered by WCAT appraisers until the 2021 valuation. So what that's telling you is, in short, no. However, you will probably see the effect of COVID-19 on your property taxes next year, because again, they're assessing the property according to its value on January the 1st. And we all know that January the 1st, in the United States at the very least, the virus has not spread out. So moving down to the appeal system. Okay, so if you want to know a little bit more about how they value properties, you can look at this market data dashboard here. They tell you how they get the information. They even have a video that explains to you how they arrive at the value. But we'll skip all that and we go straight to the appeal system. All right, and that's my email address. So before we log in, if you have never created an account on your county appraisal district website, you can also do the create user. But when you do the create user, you want to make sure you go back to your notice, appraisal value notice. Let me share the screen. Here you will see the online passcode and the quick ref ID. So you would use those two numbers if you're in Williamson County. If you're in Travis or any other counties, there's some kind of a passcode number or a PIN number that you can use to create a user account on the county appraisal district website for you to be able to do the online protest. So make sure you look out for those two numbers, the PIN number and the quick ref ID. The reference ID is basically your property ID number in the county appraisal district system. So that would have been available to you from the very beginning. But for the PIN number or the online passcode, it should be in your notice. Okay, so let me log in. And so we log in here and okay, so here's my property. It's telling me that's my address, that's the legal description. I want to file a protest. File a protest, click on that. All right, so it will give you the your mailing address, and if this is a perfect example, I have not updated my mailing address, so I need to go into the county appraisal website and do that, or give them a call telling them that, hey, I need to update my mailing address. So that's what I need to do. And the next thing is the property address. And double checking that, I don't have anything to change. So it asks you for the reason of your protest. So there's a couple of reasons, and there's huge debate on which reason will get you the best available chance of reducing your taxes. So it's really up to you what scenario applies to you the best. So I'm not gonna say, hey, definitely choose this over the other one. I've heard like different stories. So in my case, my property taxes are assessed at the value of the property is estimated at 147,557. I actually bought it for 147 flat. So I'm gonna say, value is over market value. Yeah. So what do you think your property's value is? I think it's 147 flat. Please enter your name to verify who is filing the protest. Okay, so I'm actually gonna use Doreen's name. The reason is she's the only member on the LLC. Okay, and then I need to go back and make sure that the mailing address is correct. So I'm gonna change that to 595 Round Rock West Drive, Suite 301, Rock, Texas. So I correct myself. If you need to change the mailing address, this is where you change it because it actually says so. Round Rock West Drive, Suite 301, and that matches my property address, which is the office itself. And I have no problem with using the office to receive mail, so I'll do it that way. Okay, so I gave them the reason why I'm appealing. I gave them the new property value that should be the correct one, and I used Doreen's name to sign off. And I click review protest. Please review the form to ensure that all information have been entered correctly. Yep, change my address. The property address is correct. Got my reason, new value. I submit protest. Are you sure you wish to file a protest? I say yes. Waiting for a website. Okay, so now I've completed my online. It's very, very simple process. Click here to continue. Okay, so now you're probably asking me, hey, they didn't ask you for a any supporting document, so I can come up with any number that I want. Well, true and false. You can come up with a very, very low number that they will obviously reject and ask you to support that low number. If you come up with a very reasonable number that can be supported by data, more than likely they're going to come back with a response, whether they accept your number or they try to counter offer you another number. And should you reject that counter offer, then you would have to go through the next step of appeal, which will then involve you going in person and meeting with the appraiser. All right, so you just saw how we completed the online protest. So that's for Williamson County. If you're in Travis County, it's traviscat.org, and here Travis County is a little different. Okay, so on the top side here, they give you the online link. So each county does a little bit differently, but the main thing I wanted to show you was how to get to your, if you don't know what county you're in, okay? Just in case you're not aware, let's say, hey, I live in, let's say 15421 Bended Drive. Okay, that was That's my old address back in Avery Ranch. Okay. What county is 15421 Benton Drive in? Let's see. Williamson County. Hey, just search, do a Google search, and once you know that county where you're supposed to go, then you type into Google and say Williamson County Appraisal District. And Google will get you the Appraisal District website. Once you get to the Appraisal District website, you do a property search. And once you get to the property search, you key in your own home address or any other any property address, and it will pull out your property appraisal data for you. Okay, so just in case you have not received anything in the mail, and you say, hey, if they don't send me anything in the mail, then I'm not responsible for it. No, not exactly. You're still responsible for making your protests. So how do I actually go and find out how much they are appraising my home at or my property at? So in my case, right, I can do a search on my property, 595 Brown Rock West Drive. Here on the page itself, when they pull your property, they should also have given you the estimated proposed value for 2020. So that's the value that they give you. But if you want the formal, letter, the notice itself with the PIN codes, the reference ID, here is a notice of appraised value, and if you click on that, voila, you have your notice right there. This is the exact same thing as the version they send you in the mail. So you can use this, and it comes with the protest form should you choose to want to do it through snail mail. All right. So in case you have not received anything in the mail, I urge you to go through your list of properties and then start researching. Okay, if you know the county, go to the County Appraisal District website and key in those addresses and pull these notice of appraisal value and work from there. And you're gonna need the passcode, the reference ID, the property reference ID to be able to create the user account in order for you to do the online protest form. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful enough. And I know most of my examples is Williamson County, but you can try to navigate your individual county like Travis or Hayes or all these other counties in Central Texas, and they should be pretty similar. I know there's going to be some differences in terms of the workflow, but you're going to need your notice of appraised value. You're going to need your PIN code to be able to create the user account, and then you're going to be filling in some kind of form to justify what your value is and what is the reason that you're appealing the county appraised value. All right, one of the companies that come recommended to me is First Stone Property Tax Service. So let me share their mailer that I received. Okay, First Stone. Oh, Five Stone. I always get mixed up. Five Stone, First Stone. Yikes. Anyways, this is the mailer that I received. How it works. So if you were to approach them for their services, so basically they ask you to go sign up on their website. So go to their website, sign up. That these third parties do not charge a fee upfront. They collect the fee as part of the tax savings that you get that they're able to appeal for you. So in this case, Fivestone, they do charge you 40% of the tax savings. So I know that sounds like a lot, but if you have had not much success and you just want somebody else to do all the legwork, this could be a good company to work with. Another company that I've heard a lot about, Texas ProTex. There we go. If you were to use a third party, they'll take care of it from start to finish. And let's say you don't get any tax savings, there's no charge, so you're good to go. If you have a personal home and you bought it, whether it's paid free and clear or it's mortgage, doesn't matter. You have the right to file for a homestead exemption. And what this does is it gives you additional exemptions from the tax appraisal value. This is the online form. How do I get to an online form? If you go to your property and then click on homestead exemption link, it will get you to that online form. And here you go. You have a form that fills in. It's partially filled in for you, but for most of it, you need to fill in yourself. And these are the exemptions that are available to you. The general residence homestead exemption, we just talked about most of that. Are you disabled? There is an exemption for that. Are you over 65? There is an exemption for that. Surviving spouse of a person who is over 65. So surviving spouse are eligible for exemptions too. 100% disabled veteran and surviving spouse of disabled veteran who's 100% disabled. Surviving spouse of armed services member killed in action. Surviving spouse of first responder killed in line of duty. Donated residence of partially disabled veteran. Surviving spouse of disabled veteran who qualified for the donated residence homestead exemption. So there you have it. There's different exemption categories. If you feel like you fit in any one of these, please go ahead and apply for it. All right. And yep. And then in the end, you just sign and submit. So thank you so much for listening to this webinar. And for those of you who would like a copy of the slides, I'll be happy to provide it. But I just want to let you know that those slides were created in 2018. Some of that information may not be relevant, may need to be updated. I can't guarantee that I'll update it in time. So, but I'll be more than happy to share that with you. And also, if you need a contact for the third-party services, please feel free to reach out to me. And most of all, if you have not taken advantage of the homestead exemptions or any other exemptions that we just went through, please do so. There's online forms. If you're not comfortable with online forms, you can request a form in mail from the property, from your appraisal district, and we should be able to send you that form in the mail. All right. Thank you so very much for listening. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye now.